Hello, my friends. We are ReuMo. My name is Risa Suho, and my fellow co-founder is Brenda Pham. And we at ReuMo work with green stormwater infrastructure. But what is GSI? It's basically any man-made technology or structure that filters, mitigates, or retains stormwater. And is that really so important? Well, the EPA says so. The EPA alone, as of 2024, invested in $386 million into clean water projects, because roughly, on a conservative estimate, 14 million pounds of pollutants are entering the Puget Sound alone. And this impacts wildlife, not only local to here in the Pacific Northwest, but to the rest of the world, as these pollutants that are produced here, locally, in Washington, are carried away by currents. So these pollutants can look like anything from car oil to just common plastics left on the street. And then when it rains, and in here it rains, these pollutants are carried away by that rain into storm drains directly out into the Puget Sound. But fear not, the ReuMo solution lies within the organization and in our fantastic product. ReuMo is a nonprofit fiscally sponsored by Seattle Parks Foundation, and we offer a moss-based stormwater filtration kit to mitigate stormwater pollution, and we also develop educational programs to engage youth and community members with stormwater issues and sustainable systems. So how do we kind of compare to current solutions? Well, first, there's no organizations that currently sell green stormwater infrastructure technology. Two, all current forms of green infrastructure require some level of changing the pre-existing built environment. So this looks like breaking up concrete, moving pipes, and this results in a high cost of just materials, a long installation process, and a high demand for labor and expertise. Whereas the ReuMo kit is meant to be easy to install and low of cost. But what if I told you you could actually get the kit, the labor, and everything for free, depending on a few eligible qualifications? So ReuMo as an organization primarily focuses on community and public spaces, where we utilize pre-existing grant funding already available through city and state funds to provide support to people and communities to facilitate, collaborate, and even fund projects related to green stormwater infrastructure, thereby addressing almost every barrier to participating in green infrastructure by bridging access to resources, knowledge, networks, and even financial opportunity. First, let's break down into the product. So ReuMo's moss-based filtration kit is made from layers, soils, sediments, and recycled materials compressed together to create carpet-like installations placed in the pathway of polluted stormwater, intended to let as much water through while holding back as many pollutants as possible. But even better, all of our materials are either grown, composted by us, or sourced completely from recycled materials. At the end of each ReuMo kit's life cycle, we will come and collect the kits to recycle it. And through bioremediation, we turn the contaminated organic material into compost and recycle as much of the inorganic materials as possible for future kits, a cheat code, if you will. This way, we create our own supply for materials for future kits, minimizing the downstream waste of creating our own product while tackling stormwater pollution. But I would personally say, one of the best aspects of us is our community-based network and partnerships that we develop to educate and engage those in stormwater issues. I would just like to say thank you to our current partners, and hopefully there are many more partnerships to be formed here. Example partnerships includes the Cameron Rain Garden High School, which was funded by the Waterworks grant up to, I believe, $35,000 just for this one install alone. It is written by students like myself, and the grant funds were managed by the school, and this was co-built in collaboration with the very students at this school. But let's break down a bit of what this organizational model looks like. ReuMo's role is to connect everything and everyone together to facilitate these GSI projects. First, we are the ones who go out and seek and connect with grants or resources to determine capacity and opportunity for funding. Then, once potential for funding is determined, we identify and connect with stakeholders for technical and financial support, as well as setting the guidelines and timelines for the scope of work for our project. So we focus on with community members directly such as like high school students and teachers, to figure out a scope of work and a given timeline. So in the environmental space, I get it. We feel like we're struggling, constantly fighting upstream against a goal that sometimes we feel like we end up as polluted as we started. Too bad no one else understands that feeling. But we understand that the best solutions are carefully crafted through community-based effort and innovation within technology. Thank you so much for listening, and we're interested in partnerships and just connecting with other people to help these projects in these schools. Thank you.